Hello my TBDs, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing my tips and tricks with you guys of how I get the most out of buying makeup at Sephora. We all know Sephora is hella expensive, and us girls on a budget, we cannot always hit that level in life, you know what I mean? So if you're interested in learning some of the ways that I get the most out of buying makeup at Sephora, if you want to learn some helpful tips and tricks, then be sure to keep on watching. And if you're enjoying the video while you're watching, you can give it a thumbs up so I know, and don't forget to subscribe because I do upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. All right, so let's hop in. I have my whole list here that I wrote out. I have some different things that I wanted to touch on. So like I said earlier, I am on a budget. Like, I do not have this extensive makeup budget, and I think that that is a huge thing that doesn't get talked about here on YouTube. Like, before I started my channel, I used to watch people on YouTube and like review this and test out this and try this, and I'm like, how in the world are they getting all of this makeup? Like, there's just no way realistically that they can afford all of that. And that was before I learned about PR and all of those pieces. I don't receive PR at this moment. I definitely think that there is not as much awareness on YouTube around like how people receive their makeup, and you see them like using all of these amazing expensive makeup products, and in my brain, it kind of makes me like feel a little bad about the fact that I cannot afford all of those things. So I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Maybe this is a rant for just me. I don't know, maybe party of one. I have an itch on my leg. But that was kind of how I felt before I started my channel. Now that I do have a channel and I'm actively having to purchase makeup to keep my channel interesting and, you know, talk about new releases and those things, I am put on a budget. I have a budget every single month that I use to purchase my makeup. It is not a lot of money for makeup. It's not like too little for makeup. I mean, it's definitely a budget with a little bit of wiggle room in it. That being said, I do try to stick to a budget every month. I try not to go over. Some days, some like months I do, but there's only so many new things or products that I can purchase within that budget. And I was actually kind of thinking about this the other day when I was in Sephora. It's kind of like, I feel like no one that I've watched has done a video on like how to make the most out of makeup and being able to try new things without having to spend a fortune doing it. I just wanted to put that out there that yes, I'm on a budget too, even though I have a YouTube channel and all this stuff, there's a limit, you know, like that I have to stay within. So first I would start out with thinking about something that you are interested in trying. Maybe it's whether you've seen it on YouTube, you saw a review of it, you've seen good reviews on the Sephora homepage. By the way, the Sephora homepage is never a good place to be, or the Sephora just arrived page is bad. Like, I can get sucked in so easily. But if you're looking on there, some kind of product catches your eye and you're like, maybe I want to try that out, I would look at reviews before you do anything. I never buy something without knowing the consensus of reviews around it. And I look at my reviews on the Sephora website, I look at YouTube videos, but I mainly rely on the Sephora website and reviewers that are writing things about their experience on there before I even consider purchasing something. If I'm seeing tons of bad reviews on products, I'm not even gonna buy it. There's just no way. I want something to be generally liked by the public for me to want to invest my money and purchase it. So that's my first tip, is don't just like go into Sephora and wander around and be like, this looks good, you know, because in store, you have no idea what people are actually saying about these products, and there's no like side thing, you know, side little panel that says like people are saying this about this product. No, like it's just the product, the description of the product. You get no other information, and I'm just always a very informed buyer before I do anything. So I try not to get lost in like the new products at Sephora. So when I'm walking through the aisles, I just pick something up and buy it. That's not me. Even if I'm in the store and I see something that I like, I pull it up on their app and I look at the reviews first. So then if you are interested in trying something, you can get 3 free samples from Sephora in one visit. So you can go back another visit and get another 3 free samples. I'm not saying overuse this because they're trying to make products available for people to test it out before you have to buy it. So you get an idea of whether you like it or not. But you can get 3 samples of something. So this is helpful if you don't know your shade in a foundation and you're like, it's maybe between these 3 shades. You can get all 3 shades and test them out on yourself, go home, try it out in your normal lighting and see if it's a good match for you. You could also like have them, shade match you, but sometimes it's really busy in the Sephora store, so they can't really do that. So that's helpful if you wanted to try 3 different products. Maybe you've seen products like primers. You're like, I don't really know what primer I want. You could get 3 different primers that have different claims and see which one you like best. The samples are more for the liquid products. I don't think I've seen them offer samples for powder products. I've never had samples with powder products. It's only liquids. So basically like primer, foundation. I don't know what else you can get sampled at Sephora. You do not have to buy something just because you're interested in it. You can get a sample first, and it just saves you down the line of having to like return it. So if you are very avid within the Sephora makeup world and you buy lots of things, you will eventually, if you have a VIB type of account, then you do earn Beauty Insider points when you purchase items at Sephora. Whether it's in store or online, you get those points, and just be sure that you're using those because they do give you samples based on the amount of points you have. You do have to spend a little bit to get those points. Like, it doesn't happen overnight, but when you do have those points, they do have options that you can pick from that are samples of products that you can add into your purchase just based on points that you've got from previous purchases. If you buy something online, the cool thing about that is you can get those, use your Beauty Insider points. And they also have a separate section in their online like checkout page that says add 3 free samples. Now these are samples that come in like a little packet. You're not going to get very much of it, but you can test out maybe one application of something if you are interested. So usually that's like a skincare product, a primer, a perfume. It generally stays in that category, but that's another way you can get some free samples from Sephora without having to necessarily purchase something big. Another tip I'd say is if you are buying online, which I buy online most of the time, like 99% of the time, I always buy online. If you are, buying online, really use Ebates, or I guess now it's Rakuten. I like Ebates better, the word, but it is a site that you can like type in Ebates or whatever, make your account. I guess Rakuten now, but you can make an account, and then they have different stores on their website, which Sephora is in it. A lot of other stores are, and you can click on like take me to Sephora, and it activates a cash back percentage that you get when you buy something from that website. So you go to Rakuten before you go to Sephora.com and you will get cash back. Now I can say this is totally legit. I don't know how they make money out of it or have a business out of this, but it totally works. I get a check in the mail once I've hit a certain amount. Now I will say again, like the Beauty Insider points, these do not add up like overnight. It does take a few purchases to really get some cash back. But even if it's not that much, even if it's like 30 cents, it adds up. If you are consistently using it throughout your purchases, you will end up getting money back to use on future things as well. So that's another way you can get kind of more for your money when you are getting money back for what you're already buying. This is a huge tip that I would say, and I don't really know how people are going to take this, but you can return things at Sephora. I use this a lot because there are products that I buy at Sephora that don't work out for me. Most of the time, I would say it's about 50-50. Half the time I keep the product, half the time I send it back. Now, if you are not 100% happy with something, you can return it. If it's opened, if it's used, if it's been 30 days, if it's been 60 days, you can return it. Now, with those time frames, they will give you your full refund if you return the product within 30 days of your purchase. If you return it within 60 days of your purchase, they'll give you store credit that you can use on something else. So they won't necessarily give you money back, but they will give you store credit that can go towards buying something else at Sephora. I use this all the time. Like I have to. When I'm buying lots of makeup products and not all of them work out for me, that's okay for me to return it and get my money back if I'm not 100% happy with it. Now it does take time, like it takes another trip to Sephora to return this product, but every time I have returned something, I've got great customer service from Sephora. Like they've never made me feel bad for returning something. It's your money. You should be purchasing something that makes you happy and that works well for you. So if it's not why are you keeping it, you know? I think when you're purchasing a product from Sephora, let's say you got a sample and you're like, yes, I really like this product, I'm gonna go for it, I'm gonna purchase it. In the back of your mind, make sure that you are willing to return it if you don't like it. So for some people, Sephora is like way too far of a drive. Maybe you just don't go into the mall. I don't know, you know, kind of what your reasoning is, but I think a lot of times we buy stuff and then it just sits because we don't know that we can return it, that's opened or used, and we just don't make time to get our money back. So that's another way that it's like, if you really don't love something, don't spend the money on it, you know, get your money back for that. I just would encourage you guys not to feel bad about returning because that's why the policy is there. And I've never got dinged on it or anything and I use it, you know, like I said, it's pretty 50-50 based on what I buy. One last tip that I would say is use what you buy. We can get so sucked into like, this is new, this is trending, this is just dropped, and this is a beauty person is behind this, like from YouTube, and like we can just get pulled into new products and we want to go buy them just to buy them and to like be in the know. You don't have to do that. If you are purchasing something from Sephora, I bet you it will last you a long time. Unless you're consistently using it every day, which you should be. Think of makeup as investment. My whole makeup chest is worth more money than I really want to think about. And when you can just so like easily give your money and buy things and you're not using it, it's kind of a waste of that purchase. It's so easy to get sucked into the new makeup, but try and use what you have. Like if you bought it and you like it, make sure that you're using it, because if it just sits there and it doesn't get used and you're just kind of replacing it with new things that's coming in that are exciting, you forget about that product and then it sits and then it expires eventually, and then that money is wasted. So just make sure that you're using it. My point behind that is, instead of buying more, just try and focus and be like appreciative of what you have. You know, like if you come at it from a lens of like, I'm grateful that I have money to be able to purchase these really great, expensive, cool items for myself, instead of like, I need more, I don't have enough, I need more, I always need to spend more money. Like that's when you think about it, it's not really the case. And if you come at it from more of like a grateful lens of, I'm really excited that I have these products and I'm going to use what I have, then you don't really ever need to buy more makeup. There you have it. I feel like this is helpful to put out into the world. I don't really see people that I follow on YouTube talk about this stuff. And I think it's important when you like bring it down to earth a little bit. Us normal people that are not like makeup beauty gurus have to figure out like, how am I going to afford this, and what are some different tips and tricks that I can use to kind of make my money go further with makeup. So I hope that this video was helpful. If it was, please leave me down in the comments. Let me know like if you found this helpful. Maybe this is news to you that you haven't heard before, and I just want to make sure that you guys are informed too. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.